The Phoenix Suns just made a franchise-altering move as Shams just dropped a bombshell. As we know, Matt Ishbia has been trying to fortify and adjust the front office to go into an offseason, which is extremely important for this team. And now a decision has been made out there on the GM who's going to be running the show out here for the Phoenix Suns. And frankly, I am worried about the decision, not just because we're going to offseason with absolutely massive implications for this team, but there is some backstory in regards to this hiring, which has Suns fans very concerned about this hiring, about this decision, especially when names such as Bob Myers and even rumors of Pat Riley coming to Phoenix were thrown out there in recent weeks. This has Phoenix Suns fans very fired up and confused as to what the future holds now for this organization. So we'll break down this report, what it means to the Phoenix Suns, and what we should expect going forward for the Suns team after this hiring. So much to break down in this video. But folks, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Phoenix Suns news, man, you're part of the 67% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet. You've been tuning into the recent videos and want to stay up to date with everything going on with the Suns, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because we're delivering daily, more than daily videos out here on Suns Digest. But let's dive into it because frankly, this was a bombshell. We were waiting for it, we were looking for it, we were expecting it, but Shams dropped this today that the Suns are naming a new head of basketball operations, promoting Vice President Brian Gregory to be franchise's new general manager as James Jones transitions to a role as a senior advisor for the organization, sources have told ESPN on Thursday. And we look at this and we say, hey, and this is, I'm going to talk about all sides of this because, this report is big. The biggest thing that I was hoping for before the head coaching search and why I was extremely frustrated hearing that, James Jones is running the coaching search in a recent report of the past couple of days. It's not because I have no faith in James Jones or anything along those lines. It's decisions are being made without a figurehead in place, without someone that is going to be around long term to put the pieces together, to actually have a master plan for the Phoenix Suns moving forward. Just Matt Ishbia throwing stuff at a wall and doing things crazy. So with this update, with this report, the one positive I am going to say about it, at least there is someone at the helm now. There's someone in a position to come out and be like, okay, the reins are in your hands right now, and decisions can be made with a clear cohort of basketball brains out there in mind. So that's the one positive thing about this report, because of course, it wouldn't put it past Matt Ishbia and the Phoenix Suns to go out, have James Jones, hire a head coach, let James Jones, move into an advisor role, be no longer the GM, and then, move into a position where they hire a new GM. They hire Bob Myers that doesn't like the coach, there's clashing, and then we go through the same stuff next season. So I'm happy that there is at least one person at the helm that's going to be making decisions. It's going to be, doing this for the offseason. There's going to be one GM, and then we'll move into position of that line. But let's dive into it before I express why a lot of people are frustrated about this decision, this move. So essentially, after 2 decades of an NCAA head coach, Gregory worked closely with Phoenix Suns officials in the front office over the last 2 years. He was a key part of the selections in the 2024 draft of Ryan Dunn and, of course, Oso. He now assumes a more prominent day-to-day position. So this is also positive because, again, Shams is clarifying, I'm sure this is fed from the organization. The Suns had a very solid draft last year, especially where they were selecting, where they were picking. The Suns did a good job. I'm not saying Ryan Dunn is an automatic superstar by any means, even though some nights it's easy to get excited about his potential and growth and things, especially on the defensive end. But the Suns did a good job in the NBA draft last year. So apparently Gregory did have his fingers all over that type of stuff in terms of decision-making, late-round draft picks. That's cool. So I'm not coming out here and immediately saying, hey, Brian Gregory's trash or anything like that. That's not why I'm frustrated out here on this front, but I'll dive into that after. But basically, the final discussion is that the Suns will now embark on an expansive, wide-ranging search for their next head coach. So we'll see who ends up coming in the mix out there for that head coaching position. That makes sense as a logical step. And Matt Ishbia said, following the season, that I want to put a team out there on the court that everybody is proud of. It has to be a team that has an identity similar to Phoenix. Some grit, some determination, some work ethic, some grind, some joy. We just haven't had that. So again, saying the right things. I'm not coming out and saying, oh, Brian Gregory is just going to be do a horrible job, do this, do that, do whatever. But that's who he is. That's sort of the statement. That's what's been published to the press out there about who this dude is. Because, again, you don't really know the behind the scenes, how impactful people are out there on that front. So it's tough to get really excited. Hey, this guy's a genius, or he's just a bad basketball mind, or whatever it is. But the one thing that has me extremely concerned, that has me extremely like, why on earth did we go in this direction, is basically this update. That Gregory has experience across the basketball landscape, serving 19 seasons as a head coach in college basketball with Dayton, Georgia Tech, as well as South Florida. Nothing wrong there. College basketball experience, all that stuff. He was also an assistant coach at Michigan State under Tom Izzo from 1999 and 2003, which overlapped with Ishbia's stint as a point guard on the national championship team in 2000. That's where my issue lies. Because, of course, the Phoenix Suns are one of the top organizations. Matt Ishbia, we know, is willing to fork out money, willing to spend to make this team good. There's no issues on that. It's not like, hey, the Suns are a squad that could be bottom dwellers, or the Hornets or something. You're just hoping for the best, in terms of people that are coming in. Instead of the guys that were rumored to get, the Bob Myers of the world, the big names that can come in, be impactful, be steady presence, be just respected people in the front office for the Phoenix Suns. We don't get that. I'm not saying Brian Gregory is going to get walked all over or whatever, but he's Matt Ishbia's buddy. They're friends. They played basketball out there in the 2000s, like he was assistant coach out there on that team. He's just going to be another guy that Matt Ishbia can walk all over, could say, hey, I want to do this move. I see Bradley Beal. I see a new shiny toy. I'm going to do this. I don't like the coach. I don't do this. Let's fire him. This is not what we are looking for out there in a general manager position, someone in the front office for the Phoenix Suns. I don't want to come out and say it's immediately he's going to do a horrible job or whatever, but in terms of surface level, in terms of all the knowledge we have right now, I'm hoping he comes out. I'm going to give him a chance. Like, of course, I'm not going to say he's imminently going to be doing something bad, but this shows all signs of exactly what has been wrong with the Ishbia tenure. It's owners that, again, you want an active owner. You want an owner that cares about the team, that's passionate, that's involved, like all that stuff. But you don't want the owner to be making the basketball decisions. You don't want that. That is not what we need. And then Matt Ishbia goes and hires his buddy, like his friend that's been in the organization. Sure, he has a good resume. It's not like it's somebody off the street, but this just screams to me another hire, another decision where, because James Jones, right, who's going to be migrating to an advisory role now at this point, he wasn't allowed to be the GM. Woj came out and directly said a couple seasons ago that James Jones, well entitled, as a general manager and stuff like that. It's Matt Ishbia really getting his hands dirty with the transactions and stuff, trying to make and build and do things out there for this roster. And that is the thing that has held the Phoenix Suns back. And just on its surface, what we've heard from this report, everything we've heard about, I can regather from this since this report dropped like 10 minutes ago. It screams to me we are going to be running into the same issues for this Phoenix Suns squad, which it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. So let me know what you guys think about this decision. At least there's a GM in place before the head coaching search goes on, so I'm at least happy about that. But let me know how you guys are feeling about this decision by Matt Ishbia. Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys have the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.